Hi, here is an example of a homework question off of the 9.4 homework where we have to open a data table and put that directly into StatCrunch. So if you click on the data table for this, we've got some dancer heights in inches. If you use the little square icons, it should allow you to open directly into StatCrunch. So all of those data values will pre-populate into your variable 1 in StatCrunch. Now the first question asked is, what is the sample mean and is it above or below 64.5 inches? Now this is something we did way back, I think in chapter 2 or 3. We did a summary stats columns where we're able to select what column we want. So for us, that's variable 1. And we're able to choose what statistics we would like to calculate for us. So specifically, all we wanted was the mean. So I can take off all these other things if I want to. I could let it calculate those things. All we really want is the mean. So I can compute that mean. The mean for this specific question is 63.125. So I can type in 63.125, and that is that above or below, so that is below this 64.5 inches. So I can check that. Okay, so that's sort of a review, which is a good thing to do at this point in the semester because we are approaching final exam time, and we'll want to remember that we were able to find, mean, standard deviation, median, IQR, Q1, Q3, all of that stuff by using that summary stats area. Okay, so now we want to determine our null and alternate hypotheses. So this is up to us to figure out. We are saying, we're testing, do dancers have a smaller population mean? So we would assume it's exactly the same. So we would assume that the mu is still 64.5. But we'd be testing, is it actually smaller than that? So it looks like choice A would be the appropriate one here. Okay. All right, now we need to get our test statistics. So that's that t-test that we want to run. Okay, we can go back into our data and close that out. We still got our data. I can go to stat t-stats. This is just one sample. The difference between this and a lot of the ones we run is that we actually have the raw data this time, so choose with data. When you choose with data, it doesn't make you type anything else in, it just has you select the column that you want. So I want variable 1 as my column. I have to make my hypothesis test here match what we just chose in the first part. So we chose that the mean was either still 64.5, and then we were testing maybe it is actually less than that. And that's the only thing I need to type in here. I go ahead and compute that. So the test statistic is that t-stat, that negative 2.803. Come back over here. Let's see, negative 2. It only wants 2 decimal places, so 80 should get it. Oops. Let's check that. And the p-value, I'll have to flip back to that. So the p-value is 0.0057 to 3 decimal places. That will round to 0.006. And then here is where that significance level comes in. That 0.05 does not go into StatCrunch anywhere. This is where it comes into play. So we now take this p-value that we found, 0.006, compare it to 0.05. For us, it is less than that. So we reject. When p is low, the null must go. So we're going to reject the null. When we reject the null, it means we did find evidence, so there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the population mean is less than that 64.5 inches. And that's the whole problem. We can move on to the next question. So really, honestly, I know that we haven't talked about it too much in the prior videos, but there's actually less work for you to do whenever you load data directly in there, because when you load it directly in there, StatCrunch is in the background calculating what does that mean, what is that standard deviation, and all of those things, and you're not required to type it in. It kind of takes the raw data and figures all that out. So they're actually a little bit shorter, a little bit less for you to type into StatCrunch, but that's how you do one.